When you think of flying, when you think of how long human beings have looked up, probably not even human beings, probably from our much earlier ancestors, before they were ever even human, looking up at birds and trying to do something like that, trying to fly, trying to be weightless and travel faster and over everything. And for the longest time, people felt like that was so impossible. There was no way that we were going to fly. And anyone that talked about flying was basically crazy. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Do you know how many people we know that have gone up that mountain and tried to jump off and just land and died? Like, it was the biggest joke ever. For thousands of years, flying was the biggest joke that someone wanted to try to fly. Like, you're just gonna fucking die. And now we just go up, like, travel. People don't even get on a plane and they're like, holy shit, we're flying. They just go from one place to the next and they don't even think about it. Hasn't even been like, what, 100 years? Probably, like, since there's been commercial airports. It's probably been less than 100 years. And yet to us, this whole thing is like, oh yeah, flying, it's fucking normal. And so when you think of the future, what is going to be another thing like that? Where today we feel like it's the biggest joke ever, but it's going to become the new normal. And I feel like that is a society that works, a society with no conflict. I believe that we're going to arrive at a state where we are able to do with our brains what we're able to now do with our hands. Just this hand by hand, we make a city, then we make an airplane, and we make a spaceship, and we make a high-rise. One person could never do that. One person could never make a pyramid. One person could never make a spaceship. It takes too long to build a pyramid for one person's lifetime. And so we were able to come together, and maybe we learned from ants or bees, just like we learned flying from birds, and we managed to be able to put together our hands and make an incredible thing like a pyramid. Or a city. And I believe that in the future we're going to be able to do that with our brains. We're going to be able to come together, combine our thinking, creative and imaginative and problem-solving capacity, and instead of having these debates where I try to build something and you try to build something and we tear each other's thing down, like arguments and what do you see happening in politics, and instead of that, we're gonna come and you say, okay, you think the economy is super important, I think the military is super important, how can we work together to make the best thing possible? Instead of saying, you're stupid, why do you think the economy is important? I only think the military is important and here's my reason. Like, instead of trying to tear each other's ideas down, instead of someone saying, I think abortion is illegal or is killing life, and the other person saying, I think abortion is a choice. Instead, we'll just say, like, okay, abortion is obviously a very intense problem. Sometimes we choose to take life, just like we kill our dogs, or we kill criminals, or we have euthanasia, or old people that they need to die, or sometimes people even kill themselves. And so, or we have prison, we have all these things. So why should abortion be something that is completely off, like out of question? And why would it be not a Like then we'd able to work and think together and find the best solution for everything in each scenario, instead of really having one idea fighting and winning over the other ideas. And when we can do that, I believe we will have found a kind of future that we could never imagine. We won't just be able to make some cooler things. The world will look so different. There will be no wars. There will be no people that are completely neglected. We will all just be like one big family, for real. It won't be a bunch of people feeling sad. It will be like one big self. We will all be self. We will all be together. And we will all have different ideas and be able to work them together. Just like we all have different physical abilities and put them together. Some guy can make a ship, some guy can make a gun, some guy can make a funny joke, whatever. And then we make those things and make a city. Yeah, we're gonna be able to do some amazing things. And one of the keys to being able to get there, to a future where we can not just hand by hand, but brain with brain really work together, is being not super scared. Because fear is shuts down the whole thing. So to not be scared, we have to also realize that we are the same. Like, people feel and think and worry about and want the same things. Everybody wants to feel good. No one wants to live in the shittiest community ever. If you just went up and said, hey, do you want to live in the worst community possible? No one would just say yes. People want to live in the best place. People want to have the most opportunity, nice safety, freedom, bonding with people, purpose, meaning. We all want the same things, man. But we have different ways of approaching it, maybe. To someone, being healthy means living 100 years. To someone, being healthy means running a 4-minute mile. To someone, being healthy means looking a certain way, or smelling a certain way, or whatever. And if we just put our brains together instead of just our hands, we'll have something that is all of those things. We will all have everything that we can create. Just like today, we all have everything that we physically can create. You know, you can have a phone and a computer and a ball and a color palette and food that someone grew. And all these things are what? They're all things that other people made. And in the future, I believe that we won't just have access to all the physical parts of what other people make, but we will have access to the intelligence of the whole species at our fingertip. And we will have a world of creative, loving, connected, explorers of our existence and some next level type of living situation.